guys, this is Mishel with Deception Bytes, and I am back with more Q posts. These are the posts from February 18th, which was yesterday, and Q has not posted yet anything today, and may not, because it looks like the boards have become compromised. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but part of the boards yesterday, well, actually, I think all of the boards were erased yesterday. It looks like part of it is back. But again, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Certainly an attack of some dimension. And I was not able to get an opportunity to post yesterday, so I'm posting these today. And of course, the 17th, the day before, Q did not post. So these will bring us up to the most current Q posts. I am going to do a separate video as well. Someone sent me some information about Snowden, which is fascinating, and I'm going to do a video on that, and also I'm going to do a video on the school shooting, because things are not adding up there at all, and it's pretty fascinating. So but in terms of this, we're going to hit on these posts, and it'll bring us up to the end of the most current ones. So here we go. Now, this is a quote from President Trump. "Never gotten over the fact that Obama was able to send $1.7 billion in cash to Iran, and nobody in Congress, the FBI, or Justice called for an investigation." End quote. Reread crumbs. Now, he's talking about previous posts. He has posted on this many, many times about this money that went to Iran, and it made its way into funding terrorism. And Q is asking, what is the reason this is being brought back up? Well, obviously, we're not finished with it, because there hasn't been any resolution to anything. So I think it's pertinent, obviously, but we're going to go out and look and see where it's been in the news lately as well. So there is a purpose for every tweet and crumb dropped, and we know that. We've been told that many times, that there are no coincidences, and everything has a purpose, everything has a meaning. Follow the money. Future proves past. The Great Awakening. No escape. No deals. Trust the plan. Happy Sunday. Q. And today is Monday. It's a holiday in Canada. In Canada, it's Family Day, and in the States, it is President's Day. So, happy President's Day. And I do wish the current President, Trump, a very happy President's Day. I know that he won't hear this, but anyway. So let's continue. Let's go out and look at a couple of news articles, recent news articles. And this is from the Washington Times. Obama-era cash traced to Iran-backed terrorists. Now, this is from about a week ago, February 7th. The U.S. government has traced some of the $1.7 billion released to Iran by the Obama administration to Iranian-backed terrorists in the 2 years since the cash was transferred. According to knowledgeable sources, Iran has used the funds to pay its main proxy, the Lebanon-based terrorist group Hezbollah, along with the Quds Force, Iran's main foreign intelligence and covert action arm, and elements of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. The U.S. money supplied to Iran as part of an arms settlement dating back to the 1970s also has been traced to Iran's backing of Houthi rebels seeking to take power in Yemen. Iran has been supporting the Yemen rebels as part of a bid to encircle and eventually take control of Saudi Arabia. The intelligence tracing the American funds to Iranian-backed terrorists is likely to further fuel President Trump's effort to undo the Iran nuclear deal, the Obama administration's main foreign policy initiative codified in the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, as the Iran nuclear deal is called. Despite promises to reject the deal during the presidential campaign, Mr. Trump announced in January the U.S. would not pull out of the Iran nuclear accord for now. But the president criticized the transfer of money to Tehran and signaled that Washington is going after Iran's funding of terrorism. And it has. It definitely has. Now, I don't think I can read it. Well, I can. Okay. Sometimes, unless you have an actual subscription to the news site, it won't let you read past a certain point. And that's what I thought that it was going to do to me. but it didn't. The enormous financial windfall the Iranian regime received because of the deal, access to more than $100 billion, including $1.8 billion in cash, has not been used to better the lives of the Iranian people, Mr. Trump said January 12th. Instead, it has served as a slush fund for weapons, terror, and oppression, and to further line the pockets of corrupt regime leaders. Mr. Trump said the United States is countering Iranian proxy wars in Yemen and Syria and cutting the regime's money flows to terrorists. We have sanctioned nearly 100 individuals and entities involved with the Iranian regime's ballistic missile program and its other illicit activities, he said. The American money sent by the Obama administration was first flown to Switzerland aboard an unmarked chartered aircraft and then converted into euros, Swiss francs, and other currencies. An Iranian transport aircraft flew the cash to Iran in January and February 2016 in 3 shipments. The first aircraft arrived in Tehran on January 16, 2016, with $400 million piled on wooden pallets. 2 other aircraft shipments of cash were sent on January 22, 2016, and February 5, 2016, totaling $1.3 billion. In all, Iran received $1.7 billion in U.S. cash that has been used to fund its covert terrorist support operations. The first $400 million coincided with the release of the 4 American-held hostages by Iran, a move by Iran to make the money appear as if Obama administration had paid a ransom to Tehran for the release of the Americans. The Obama administration sought to justify the cash transfers to the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism by claiming the U.S. government was set to lose a legal arbitration case over arms purchases from the United States made by the government of the Shah of Iran, the predecessor government to the Islamic regime that took power in 1979. However, the primary motivation was President Obama's effort to woo the Iranian regime and seek to change its backing for terrorism in the Middle East. The Trump administration has sharply reversed course, I would say so, and is working hard to push Iran for its terrorist activities. Iran has been linked to the deaths of scores of Americans through its backing for terrorism. Defense Secretary James N. Mattis has been one of the administration's main hawks on Iran, although he recently softened his opposition to jetsoning the Iran nuclear deal. In the administration's recently released defense strategy blueprint, Mr. Mattis shifted the focus of American defenses from countering terrorists to confronting nation-states. He said Iran continues to sow violence and remains the most significant challenge to Middle East stability. In the Middle East, Iran is competing with its neighbors, asserting an arc of influence and instability while vying for regional hegemony, using state-sponsored terrorist activities, a growing network of proxies, and its missile program to achieve its objectives, he stated. So basically, and I don't know if I need to read all of this, but the main point is that this is now in the news. This is a fairly recent article, and we know that that money went to fund terrorism. I mean, we know that. We knew that when, Q pretty basically told us near the beginning of all of his posts that this is what was happening, and indeed, this is what's being found. So I think that is significant and could be a reason why Q is bringing it up again. And let's go out and look at another. Obama's $400 million, and of course it was more than that, cash payout to Iran is unprecedented, say legal experts. No other transaction in U.S. history has involved a plane load of bills, say diplomatic historians, raising questions about payment time to help free prisoners. Now, I'm not going to go into reading all this as well, because basically it's that is the story, that this is unprecedented. It's never happened before. So what is this really? Well, we know what it is, really. So let's go back, and that's pretty much this post. I think that there isn't anything else here that's follow the money. We know that. That's what we've been doing, and it's proven to be pretty helpful to do so. Future proofs past, he keeps saying that. And I think that obviously this is aimed at Obama and his ilk. No escape, no deals. And then he's telling us, trust the plan. Happy Sunday. Q. So let's go up to the next one. The next one's very short, and it's all in capitals, which I think says something. There's a great emphasis placed on it. Trust Sessions. Trust Ray. 2018 will be glorious. Q. Well, I really hope 2018 will be glorious because 2017 sucked. But that's my life. Okay, let's take a look at this. Rick Scott calls for FBI Director Ray to resign, and this could be why Q is bringing it up, that we can trust Ray, because right now he's under fire because he bumbled his department, his agency bumbled the tip for the Florida shooter. So he's under fire for that, and understandably so. And I think that, there are more and more people calling on him to resign. So I think perhaps that's why Q has mentioned to trust him. So yeah, and that's been all over the news that people are saying that he should resign. So I don't think that that's anything new to us. So let's go on. And he keeps repeating this about trusting Sessions, and I can find lots of reasons not to trust him, and that's probably why he keeps mentioning it, because despite what we see, we are to trust these men according to Q. Now, whether Q's right or not, that remains to be seen, but those are his thoughts. So the next post is a long one, and it's pretty involved. This right here is not something that Q posted. It's something that I posted here. I got it from Donald Trump's, President Trump's Twitter account, and it ties in. So, but I just want to point that out because I want to represent the ones that are Q's as Q's, and the ones that are mine as mine. All right, so the next post is an anonymous user, and he posts this picture here. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger because there's a couple things that I want to point out in it, and then we're going to go see what this is all about. And it's another deep rabbit hole. So, this anonymous user says, meet the little kids, spelled LIDDLE, Global Ambassadors, India, 2017. And it's got this picture of Global Ambassadors, Little Kids Foundation, India, 2017. Now, there's a website. It is a nonprofit organization called Little Kids. They have global ambassadors, so to speak. We're going to look at both web pages, both the web page for the foundation itself and the web page for the global ambassadors. And we're going to look and see what it is this agency does. Yeah. All right. So get ready to throw up a little in your mouth. Okay, that's crude, but I'm telling you, it made me very, very uncomfortable. So, look who is sponsoring this. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Microsoft, naturally. Google. And there's this company called Epic, and it's 100% grass-fed protein. And I don't know where the little thing for this went, but somebody said that this was a symbol that was closely represented one of the pedophile symbols. I don't know. I've looked at those symbols, the pedophile symbols. I don't find a match for that, but I could have missed something. I have before, and I probably will again. Now, after this anonymous poster posts this, underneath, I'm not reading that word, so fudgesicles. This page says it's sponsored by Bill Gates. Effing Google. Epic. Looks like the Russian Gannett thing, walnut sauce sign that the autists dug up. Now, I tried to look for this to what he was referring to, and he or she, and I couldn't find it. I don't know. I know what walnut sauce is, and of course these go back to the code words found in Podesta's email that pedophiles used, pizza, Domino's, what's the other one, MAP, pizza sauce, walnut sauce. There were just a bunch of them. So hot dogs, there's a lot of them. Anyway, so Q responds to that. And this is what Q says. Gannett is also located in McLean, Virginia. And remember, McLean, Virginia, is very close to Washington, D.C., and a lot of people live there. It's a very, very wealthy community, and we had looked at that before. And Q says, coincidence? Just the tip. Q. So what's he telling us here? Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you where that Gannett is located, because I wanted to be sure, first of all, that Gannett was located in McLean, Virginia. And I thought I had a link that showed what Gannett was. Well, I thought I did. Well, we can find that out pretty quick, but let's go look here first. Oh yes, that's why I didn't do it, because I'm talking to myself here, sorry. But I do listen to myself, and I rarely argue with myself either. Okay, here's a description of the company. Here it is located on the map, and so it's near the Capitol Beltway, and Gannett Company publishes more than 85 daily newspapers and more than 900 non-daily publications. The company operates websites that offer news and advertising customized to each market served by its publications. In addition, the company operates newspapers in the United Kingdom under the name NewsQuest Gannett. Also operates more than 20 television stations in the United States and delivers news and advertising to viewers through its captive subsidiary. Some words I have trouble with. I used to have a little bit of a speech impediment when I was really little. Another Gannett subsidiary, Point Roll, provides online advertisers with media marketing services through partnership investments with such enterprises as Career Builder, Employment Advertising, Classified Ventures, Auto and Real Estate Ads, Topicsnet.net, news content aggregation, Sherman's travel services, Shop Local Marketing and Advertising, and For Info, mobile phone. It's like extensive what they're involved in. Craig A. Dubow has been the chief executive officer of Gannett for more than 1 year. He has been with the media company for over 25 years. Dubow attended University of Texas, Austin. Gannett Company is headquartered in McLean, Virginia. So, I don't know where all of this ties into Gannett, but I don't know. This is going to be, I'm going to look more into this, because there's something here, and it's something connected with, if this is any indication, pedophilia. So And he says, coincidence, just the tip, Q. Now, let's go down and check out this Little Kids Foundation. And here's another strange thing that I wanted to point out. Because Trump tweeted on the 18th of February, the same day that was tweeted about the Little Kids Company, or the Little Kids Foundation, I believe it's called. Make sure. Little Kids Foundation, yeah, okay. He posted this, and I don't think it's a coincidence, and people were kind of, laughing. They thought he had misspelled, and, Trump is not stupid. I don't care. All of these people, I go out sometimes to his Twitter, and I read the things that people say, and it makes me literally feel sick to my stomach, because people are so vicious, absolutely vicious, and they think he's an idiot. I don't know. I mean, he's done a heck of a lot in a short amount of time, and I think that takes a brilliant man. Personally, I don't agree with everything he does. I don't agree with everything he believes. But, come on, you got to give credit where credit's due. So he wrote this little, Liddle, and everyone, kind of jumped on him thinking it was a spelling error. Well, we know better. We know how, what he does these things for a reason. It's always for a reason. So he said, finally, little Adam Schiff, the leaking monster of no control, is now blaming the Obama administration for Russian meddling in the 2016 election. He is finally right about something. Obama was president, knew of the threat, and did nothing. Thank you, Adam. So what is he saying there, connecting Adam Schiff with Little? And Q did not, when this anonymous poster posted this, Q didn't correct him on anything. Didn't say, oh, this has nothing to do with anything, or didn't dismiss it, right? So it means something. Now get ready to have your stomach turn sour. Are you ready? I'm not sure I am, But for you guys, I'll go back out there, just for you guys. All right, Little Kids Foundation. Here is their website. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you people on your phones. And, it's kind of cutesy, it's whatever. And then the first thing I noticed was this sign, of course. We will rock you. Now, that's kind of cute, but yeah, but I don't like this sign for obvious reasons. Now, little kids, yeah, okay. If I hadn't been around the block, I think I might look at this, I think my younger me might look at this and say, well, that's a good idea. What's wrong with that? But my older self, the self that's seen some things that they can't forget, yeah, well, I'll just let you be the judge. Little Kids is the premier organization for infant massage and pediatric massage professionals worldwide. We are dedicated to providing evidence-based touch therapy education and certification to further enhance the lives of infants and children internationally. Tina Allen's innovative approach to children's health has allowed her the unique opportunity to educate families and healthcare professionals globally in the many benefits of infant and pediatric massage therapy. Get certified and provide specialized care through touch therapy to children who need it the most. Infant massage certification and pediatric massage certification. And these are all the places where they're visiting, and they give these workshops and, specialized education programs, touch therapy autism, touch therapy childhood cancer, pediatric massage advanced, neonatal care, blah, 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 blah. Now, okay, I have nothing against massage. I get massages. I have a very, very bad back, and I had a spinal injury, and I also have myofascial pain syndrome, which really I need to have regular massage, and I do. So I don't find anything wrong with that. It is very therapeutic. There's many, many conditions that it helps. So that's not the issue. That's not the issue. Let's go down, because we're not done yet. Now, I'm going to play this for you. Now, first of all, let me make this bigger. First of all, where is this man touching this little baby girl? Don't tell me that that's innocent. Don't tell me, oh, this man just wants to help babies. I don't believe it. And maybe I'm just jaded because I've seen too much of this crap. But, okay, let me play this. You know what? I'm going to have to turn the sound off on this, and I'll tell you why. Because every time I have the sound on and I play one of these, I get a copyright strike from YouTube, and they are finding any reason that they can to discriminate against people that are expressing conservative views. So I'm going to turn this down, because that's not the important thing, is not what they're saying. I want you to look at what they're doing. Yeah. Did you see that? Hang on, let me go back here. Now, this is obviously a man. And since this is a workshop and they're providing babies at this workshop, we don't know if that's his child or not. And I don't know. I have a problem with it. Hang on. And then, of course, they cut it out. Now, that looks like a dad playing with his, touching his child, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this is what this organization does. This is what the whole thing. And they teach you how to massage children. So you could, open up a practice, I guess, and then you could just have your fill of little kids. Yep. Now, think about that. So there's men learning this, and I'm not saying that all men, that pedophiles are always men. They're not. But here are people learning this, and in order to practice this, they'll have probably unwitting parents providing children to them. What a better, I mean, it's now, okay, there's nothing that, well, there is. To me, there is things that jump right out at me. But maybe to some people that aren't as jaded as I am, maybe it doesn't jump right out and slap you in the face. But obviously Q is saying something's here. So now, I did look to see if they were based in McLean, Virginia. They're not. They are in near Washington, like the state Washington, not Washington, D.C. I think they're in Washington state. So, let's go back out. Da-da-da. And here's the ambassador website. and it's similar, but it shows you the ambassador's Republic of India, and apparently I'm really not sure what these kids do. Like this says, I've always had dreams to help others and do humanitarian work. I feel I was put here on this earth to bring massage to other parents and children, and this is how my son lives on. So, and honestly, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with if you have a sick child, massaging them, and I'm just seeing something here I'm very uncomfortable with. So anyway, these are the ambassadors. I don't really understand what they do overseas. Maybe they're taking these workshops overseas. I don't know, but it seems to be in a lot of different countries, and yeah. And this is something that you can go out and look up too and see if you find anything additional about it. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it personally. So that's my opinion. So, okay. So that is that post. And then I think I skipped over this. Did I not? I think I skipped over this, but Q posted this, and it's a tweet of Donald Trump saying Hillary Clinton should have been prosecuted and should be in jail. Instead, she is running for president in what looks like a rigged election. Now, this was October 15th, but I don't know what year. Obviously, it was before the election. So underneath, Q has said, thoughts of the current president of the United States. He has current in bolded and in the kill brackets. So I'm not sure exactly what he's saying here. Maybe he's just bringing, it's kind of a little barb that, Hillary was supposed to win in this rigged election, but nope, there's Donald Trump sitting as the current president. So it could be like a little dig, not so little dig, or it could mean something else. But I tend to look at it as non-nefarious, that, because at first I thought, well, is President Trump in danger? Is that why that's there? But no, I think that it means, it's a little dig at Hillary and the Democrats saying, yeah, the election was rigged even and she couldn't win. So we're going to go on. Pushing on. This is something I want to look more in depth at, though, at the Little Kids Foundation, because there's something, I don't know, when I saw that video, it did something to me. I don't know. It triggered me somehow. Anyway, so here's the next one. And it says, at Snowden, where are you? Not Russia. Eyes on. You are now a liability. Helping Jack. Now that's Jack Dorsey, co-founder and CEO of Twitter, founder and CEO of Square, mobile payments company. Q is asking if Snowden is helping Jack. Then he says Project Deep Dream, version 2, and then he's got the kill brackets there, and A. And he's got an extra bracket here, and I'm not sure. I don't know what that means. I do know what Deep Dream means, Project Deep Dream, and we're going to take a look at that. Then he says, we will never forget. ES failed. Now that's Eric Schmidt, founder and CEO of, he stepped down now, but was Google. Where is Eric Schmidt? Well, it's a good question. Where is he? I don't know. John Perry Barlow, and of course we know the recent circumstances with him. He was the lyricist for the Grateful Dead and founding member of the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the Freedom of the Press Foundation. He was murdered, according to Q. He was 187. So what's he saying here to Snowden? And there might be some that I missed. Yeah. Define the end. The day of reckoning is upon us. John 3:16. Now, what is he saying? At Snowden, where are you? Now, how would you answer that if he hadn't put Russia, not Russia? I would have said Russia. That's where we all think he is, right? I mean, that's where we've been told he is. But now we're being told not Russia. Well, if he's not in Russia, where is he? Because I don't think he's got a passport to be anywhere else. I don't know. And then this is not for us. This is for the operatives in the field. Eyes on. You are now a liability. And he's speaking that at Snowden. He's a liability because people around him are kind of dropping. There's been a lot of people associated with Snowden that have died. So you are now a liability. And then Q asked him, helping Jack? I don't know. Now, Jack Dorsey stepped down. No, he didn't. Jack Dorsey didn't step down. Never mind. I'm thinking of Eric Schmidt. And then Q says Project Deep Dream. So let's take a look at that. What is that? Sorry, I had to yawn. Yes, you're keeping me awake. No, I'm just kidding. Deep Dream is a computer vision program created by Google engineer Alexander, not sure I can pronounce his last name, which uses a convolutional neural network to find and enhance patterns in images via algorithmic pareidolia. Not sure how to pronounce that word either. I don't even think that's a word I've ever seen before. Thus creating a dream-like hallucinogenic appearance in the deliberately overprocessed images. Google's program popularized the term deep dreaming to refer to the generation of images that produces desired activations in a trained deep network. And the term now refers to a collection of related approaches. Interesting. The Deep Dream software originates in a deep convolutional network codenamed Inception, after the film of the same name. I loved that film. It was very, very, very weird, but I liked it. Was developed for the ImageNet Large-Scale Visual Recognition Challenge in 2014 and released in July 2015. The software is designed to detect faces and other patterns in images with the aim of automatically classifying images. However, once trained, the network can also be run in reverse, being asked to adjust the original image slightly so that a given output neuron, example, the one for faces or certain animals, yields a higher confidence score. This can be used for visualizations to understand the emergent structure of neural network better, and it is the basis for the deep dream concept. However, after enough reiterations, even imagery initially devoid of sought features will be adjusted enough that a form of, I want to know what this word is. I've never seen this. A psychological phenomenon in which the mind responds to a stimulus, usually an image or a sound, by perceiving a familiar. Okay, yeah. That's called like if you're listening to a fan blowing. I think it's called matrixing, and you you'll hear things in it. Like you'll almost hear like people talking or like the sound of a radio or something. And sometimes, even in white noise and things, your mind matrixes it and finds something that's familiar in it. And I've done that with pictures too. Like you have, you'll see things in pictures because, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not explaining myself well. So, and then of course I clicked off the other one. Hang on here. I never said I was efficient. Okay. So that's what that is. I certainly would. I've got a picture over here too. A late stage deep dream processed photograph of 3 men in a pool. Interesting. That's very small. I doubt anybody can see it. So I don't know what Q is saying other than, obviously, hang on here, let me get back to where we were. It says helping Jack, Project Deep Dream, but then he says version 2A. I don't know. AI, artificial intelligence, I don't know. But I'm welcome and open to any suggestions that anybody has, what they think that this might be. And maybe maybe you look at that and you go, oh, I know what that is. So let us all in on it, because it takes us all. We will never forget. Not sure what that's referring to, but we will never forget what you did, and after reading the information that somebody sent me about Snowden, I have no question he's a black hat. No question at all in my mind. None. Not now. So, yeah, that's why I want to get this information out that someone sent to me. And, yeah. Now, whether he has turned, I don't know. But he was definitely black hat. And then Q tells us Eric Schmidt failed. Where is Eric Schmidt? We don't know. John Perry Barlow reminds us that, okay, is he suggesting that Eric Schmidt has been 187'd? I think we'd hear about it if he had. So I don't know. But then down here I have some ideas. I think this is how I view this. Q is saying define the end. Define the end? Meaning, I think that the end is not defined. The end can go either way. They're waiting on Snowden's response. That's how I view that. Because why would Snowden have to define the end? Only if it was undefined, right? Well, it's only undefined if they're waiting for a response from Snowden, one way or the other. And then he says, the day of reckoning's upon us. Make your decision, dude. Are you with us or are you against us? And then John 3:16. And I think what that means is we're giving you the opportunity to repent, to turn, to help us, to give us, that's how I look at that. And I don't see any other way of looking at it. Of course, we know what John 3:16 is. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Lice. Oh my gosh. I do not want everlasting lice. I do not want that. Everlasting life. So, that's what I think is happening there. They're giving him, define the end. It's a question. Define the end. There's a question of how this is going to end. And it's not our question. We can't decide anything. It's Snowden's. So let's go on. Now, I think this is directed at Snowden too. This part. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Now that's from the Bible. That's Jeremiah 29:11 in the Old Testament. And it's a verse that most Christians are familiar with and can quote. So I believe that is directed at Snowden. I don't want to harm you. We don't want to harm you. We want to give you some hope and a future. Make your decision. You're going to define the end. You're the one that's going to define the end, but you need to repent. You need to turn. That's what he's saying. Now, the next one I don't believe is for us, because we know that these boards are used to send codes and go codes and everything else to operatives in the field, right? So I don't believe that this is for us. It says received, period. Confirmed, period. Good, period. Q. Then the next, and I can't really say anything more about that because I don't think it's meant for us. We know something was received, we know something was confirmed, we know it's good. That's it. All right, let's move on. The next one, go with God. The clock is activated. Q. Again, this isn't meant for us. We're not going anywhere. This is meant for the operatives that are out there. The clock is activated. Now, I don't know what that means. I think probably there's a certain time frame in order to accomplish something, and the clock's ticking like, oh, come on, like chop chop. The clock's activated. We have this much time. So I don't know, but that would be how I would interpret that. And then next, Q posts the picture of the American flag. And he says, for God and country. But it's interesting. I just noticed that he doesn't have Q under there. He always ends at Q. And I want to check on that on the actual board itself. No, he does not. Interesting. And see, this board was still down last time I because these little 110 is the post number on that board. This is Q specific board, and if you hit that, it would take you back out to the board. But last time I was there, yeah, 404 not found. It's gone. It's been erased, and that's why Q kept saying, make sure to archive this stuff offline. Now we know why. He was right. So it's a good thing that we've all been doing that. And, he's posted the flag before. The name of the file is called Freedom. So I don't think that there's anything there that's secret. If there is, I sure don't see it. I think that's all. That brings us up to date with Q. And I will keep watching for more Q posts, but in the meantime, I think I'm going to do some videos surrounding some of these things, such as Snowden and the school shooting. So I will see you in those videos if you choose to watch. Now, please, if you want to be subscribed to this station and you have subscribed, make sure that you're still subscribed, because they are unsubscribing people. And click the bell if you want to be notified. So thank you so much. I appreciate all your comments and all your encouragement and, nice comments. I mean, really, I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful Monday evening.